10 effective ways to understand who you are and live the life you dream of. Some people have asked me how to figure out what they truly want in life. One of them is going through a tough time facing a broken marriage and a struggling career. She confided that she no longer knows what she wants or what to do next. So I tried to put myself in her shoes and ask myself, what would I do in her situation? But I couldn't come up with an answer. I was missing something vital, key, personal details. That's when I realized only she could find the answer for herself by understanding herself deeply. Each person is a unique life story, a mix of different circumstances, personalities, thoughts, and more. That's what makes you one of a kind among over 7 billion people on Earth. Only you can truly know what you want and what's right for you. That's why improving self-awareness is the first and most important step to living the life you desire. Self-awareness isn't an innate talent. It's a skill, one that you can develop through learning and practice, as long as you're willing and committed. And I have good news for you. I've learned a few ways that can help you better understand yourself. Check out these 10 suggestions below. 1. Connect with yourself. Sounds vague, doesn't it? So how exactly do you connect with yourself? Have you ever given yourself 10 selfish minutes in a day just for you? Connecting with yourself simply means carving out quiet time to breathe deeply and feel the stillness of your own mind. If a thought pops up, just notice it without judgment. Practice this daily, and over time, you'll feel a stronger bond with your inner world. Let me ask you, when was the last time you truly connected with yourself? Life moves so fast that I often find myself chasing it. I'm busy keeping up with work updates, busy raising kids, and busy getting involved in other people's stories. And in the rare quiet moments I read the news chat with friends or browse online shopping, never once did I intentionally take time to connect with myself. Until one day, I stumbled upon a quote that made me pause. There is no Wi-Fi in the forest, but I promise you will find a better connection. A vivid image of a green forest filled my mind. I asked myself, when was the last time I paused to listen to birdsong or feel the warmth of my breath in my chest? When was the last time I sat with myself, not distracted by social media, daily tasks, or other people's opinions? When was the last time I simply asked myself, are you okay? And named my emotions, embraced them, and soothed them without judgment. It had been a long time. Just 1 minute of pause brought me so much meaning. We all should stop just a little amid the rush of life and give ourselves more time to reconnect. So what can you do every day to connect with yourself? Here are some things I've done that you might find helpful too. Regularly, check in with your emotions. There are moments when life gets so busy that you easily overlook your own emotions. You might be angry or frustrated but still have to take care of your child. You may be in deep pain but continue working. You might feel burned out but refuse to make a change. If you take a closer look, you'll probably spot these moments in your life. Because you have to keep going, you have to survive. There's no time for anything else. But in doing that, you're neglecting something crucial yourself. When you're in your best state, you have the energy to do everything you dream of. Life becomes more meaningful and your inner world more vibrant. So starting today, give yourself time to ask, how am I feeling right now? Happy, joyful, deeply sad, disappointed, exhausted, jealous? If the answer is a negative state, maybe it's time to pause. Stop everything you're doing. Give yourself just 5 minutes to do something that calms you. 5 minutes isn't enough to derail your responsibilities, but it could be enough to save your day, maybe even your life. Disconnect to reconnect. Every time I had a free moment, I would pick up my phone and check Facebook. Often I had no real reason, I was just mindlessly scrolling and couldn't seem to stop. Sometimes being on Facebook made me feel worse. Seeing friends celebrate their achievements traveling or reaching milestones, I felt a twinge of envy. Through emotional check-ins, I became more aware of how I felt, so I tried disconnecting and focusing instead on things I truly enjoyed. At first, it felt uncomfortable to force myself to unplug, but soon it turned out to be incredibly satisfying and meaningful. In the moments when I wasn't on my phone, I read books. Exploring the world through pages was both exciting and nourishing. And the best part, I stopped comparing myself to others and felt happier. Let me tell you a story. I met a friend I hadn't seen in years. We caught up on everything we had missed. Then she started sharing her worries. She worked at a foreign bank with a good salary, but lately all her friends were getting married, having kids, buying houses and cars. She felt like she had nothing. She was still renting. Her savings weren't much. She wasn't even excited about her job anymore. Seeing her friends succeed made her anxious so much that she couldn't sleep. And maybe you can relate. The more we compare ourselves to others, the less we hear our own voice. So perhaps disconnecting from the world just for a while is what you need to reconnect with yourself and finally begin the life that truly belongs to you. 2. Write a journal. Journaling is one of the simplest yet most powerful ways to reflect. When you write, you pause. And when you pause, you listen. You give your mind a chance to catch up with your emotions and thoughts. You don't need to write something profound. Start small. You can write just a sentence each day: what you did, how you felt, what you noticed. Over time, you'll begin to spot patterns. You may realize that every Monday you feel anxious, or that you're always most joyful after talking with your mum. Your journal becomes a mirror, quiet and honest. 3. Ask yourself the right questions. Many people ask themselves, why am I like this? But that question often brings blame. Instead, try asking, what do I need right now? Or what made me feel this way? Asking the right questions shifts you from judging to understanding, from confusion to clarity. Try keeping a list of questions you can return to whenever you feel lost. Over time, your answers may evolve, and that's okay. That's part of growth. 4. Listen to feedback, but gently. Other people can often see sides of us we overlook. Feedback, when offered kindly, can be a valuable mirror, but not all feedback is worth keeping. Some comes from misunderstanding, some comes from projection. So listen, but gently. You don't need to accept everything. Take only what feels true to you. A good habit is to ask those you trust. What do you think is something I do well? Or what's something I may not notice about myself? Their answers might surprise you in a good way. 5. Explore your childhood. Who you were as a child still lives inside you. What did you love doing when no one was watching? What made you feel safe? What moments made you feel invisible? Often your childhood holds keys to your core values, your wounds, your dreams. By revisiting those early memories, you begin to meet your truest self again. Not the one molded by jobs or titles, but the one shaped by wonder and longing. 6. Notice what drains you and what energizes you. Your body is always speaking. After a conversation, do you feel alive or exhausted? After a task, are you glowing or tense? Track your energy, not just time, but how you feel after the time is spent. You may discover that certain people, places, or tasks always leave you depleted, and others fill your cup. Pay attention. That's the compass pointing to your truth. 7. Try new things. Even if you fail sometimes, we don't know who we are, because we've never tried enough to find out. Try painting or hiking or volunteering. Take a class in something completely new. You don't need to be good at it. You just need to see how you feel doing it. Do you light up? Do you forget time? Exploration isn't about success. It's about data, about gathering experiences that help you define yourself one layer at a time. 8. Reflect on your values. What matters to you more than anything else? Kindness, freedom, loyalty. creativity. Make a list of your top 5 values. Then ask yourself, am I living in alignment with them? If you value calm but live in chaos, something's off. If you value honesty but constantly self-censor something, needs your attention. Knowing your values helps you make decisions, set boundaries and say no without guilt. 9. Seek silence and solitude. In the stillness, you begin to hear your own voice. Turn off the noise, not just devices, but also the noise of obligations, roles, and expectations. You don't have to go far. Just 10 minutes alone in a quiet room, a short walk without headphones, or even sitting still before bed. Solitude isn't loneliness, it's sacred space for clarity to rise. 10. Accept that you're always becoming. Understanding yourself isn't a one-time event. You're always changing. What felt right last year may not fit now. What scared you last month may now feel possible. Give yourself permission to change. You're not lost, you're just in motion, and that's beautiful. Final thought. The journey to self-understanding isn't linear. It's a gentle unfolding. Some days you'll feel clear, other days confused. That's normal. But with each small act, each pause, each reflection, you're coming home to yourself. And the more you come home to yourself, the more your life begins to look like it belongs to you. Have you ever had thoughts like these? I have. And I believe that at some point we all do. Especially women, who are often said to be as deep as a beetle box, tend to compare their lives to others more often than men do. And the thing is, we're not always aware that we're doing it. Sometimes the comparisons we make are completely mismatched, like asking, why can't I swim like a fish when in fact I'm a bird? Although some research shows that comparison can sometimes motivate us to improve most of the time, it brings stress and pressure that harms our mental well-being. Comparisons have become especially toxic in the digital age, when we can connect to anyone on social media, from celebrities with enviable lifestyles to friends, neighbors, and even strangers. Without realizing it, we scroll through updates, jealous when someone gets a promotion, buys a new home, shows off a talented child, or simply shares a happy relationship. These fleeting, seemingly harmless thoughts can sometimes lead to conflicts in our families or internal wounds we never expected. Do you realize that most comparisons hurt more than help? Let's go back to the story of my friend. She told me that after thinking about it a lot, she decided to buy a house on installment. Buying a home is a good thing, but if that decision comes from looking at other people's lives, it needs to be reconsidered carefully. First, she needs to truly understand herself. The friends she mentioned didn't buy their homes alone. She knows they're married couples with both partners contributing, and they often have financial support from their families too. Besides, they haven't paid off the house either. They're still working hard every month to pay the mortgage. But my friend is different. She's on her own. If she recklessly buys a house just to feel equal with her peers, to momentarily soothe her insecurities, has she truly thought it through? How much money does she currently have? How much does she plan to borrow? Has she considered the liquidity of real estate? If one day she needs to sell urgently after putting all her savings into the house and taking on monthly payments with no emergency fund set aside, buying a house is a complicated financial decision. It shouldn't be based on momentary emotions or flawed comparisons. If you miscalculate, the one who suffers will be you. How to stop comparing yourself to others. 1. Cultivate self-awareness. I always believe that the root of every issue lies in improving self-awareness. When you truly understand yourself, you'll know that you are unique. Everyone has a different background, knowledge, and ability, so every comparison is fundamentally unfair. One powerful way to improve self-awareness is through journaling. Write down your daily events, tasks, feelings, and thoughts. Reviewing your own words each day will help you discover aspects of yourself you never knew before. 2. Limit social media use. You might not like this advice, While social media has its benefits, it connects us and provides useful information and opportunities. It's also a silent thief. It steals your precious time, and worse, it ignites inner battles leading to unconscious comparisons between your life and the lives of others. It may be hard, but try limiting your time on social media or disconnect entirely for a day. Use that time for things you love. Listening to music, watching a film, reading a book, walking with your family, or cooking a nourishing meal. You'll start to realize that your own life also has many precious moments no less than anyone else's. 3. Focus on your strengths. For many years, I believed I had no outstanding abilities. Even now, after being told many times that I write well, I still hesitate to call writing my strength. My mistake, I kept comparing myself to others who seemed far more talented. So here's what I suggest. Don't overthink it. Look at all the things you can do. What is one thing you do best? Forget about others. Focus on you. I'm sure you can name at least one strength. Then commit to developing it. And remember it whenever you start to compare yourself. Chances are, others don't even have that strength of yours. 4. Remember, one day you will die. Steve Jobs once said, "Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life." When I remind myself that one day I'll die, I stop caring about what others are doing because I'm too busy living my own life and doing what I want. What do I gain by constantly comparing myself? I can't become them. I can't control them. The only thing I can control is my own actions. Jordan Peterson said in his book, 12 Rules for Life, compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today. If you've made progress, even the smallest step from who you were yesterday, then you are already more successful than many others, no matter how expensive their clothes, flashy their cars, or grand their homes. If you can use comparison to fuel your motivation, then congratulations, you've turned it into a powerful tool. But if you can't, then please do your best to eliminate it from your life. Yes, it's not easy. Don't expect perfection. Start small. Choose a way that feels manageable and gentle for you. Only then can you begin to live a life that is both happy and meaningful. Meditation, taking time to sit in silence and face yourself gently, setting aside worries and thoughts to focus solely on your breath, is one of the most powerful ways to reconnect with your inner child. The mental benefits of meditation are truly immense. By focusing on each breath, becoming present, and letting go of negative emotions, you allow yourself to relax. It feels like stepping into another world, one where only peace remains deep within your soul. Practicing meditation daily helps you release stress effectively and significantly improves your mental well-being. As a writer, this is the method I feel most comfortable with when it comes to self-connection. Many people shy away from writing because they think they have nothing to say or that their words won't be good enough. But writing to connect with yourself isn't about being perfect. It's simply about putting your thoughts on paper without judgment. Anyone can do it. The only question is, do you want to? Once you start writing, your thoughts will become clearer and more real. You begin to see them, feel them, almost touch them. You become aware of how your thoughts flow. You understand the circumstances behind your emotions, the reasons and desires behind your reactions. You gain a deeper understanding of yourself, and with that comes acceptance. If you let emotions pass without reflecting on them, it becomes much harder to understand or grow from them. Spending time in nature, rapid urban development has filled our cities with concrete towers, slowly replacing green spaces and fresh air. That's why spending time in nature has become a luxury for many. But you can still create your own little green world. A few small plants by your desk, watering them each morning, whispering a few words as if they were friends. Can you feel the quiet joy when you see your plants growing strong under your care? Can you sense the burdens being set aside and replaced by a soft sense of peace? Nature has a magical power. Just being near it, taking a deep breath and greeting the day ahead can make even the hardest things feel a little easier. Doing more of what you love. Ask yourself, if you had all the time in the world, what would you love to do for yourself? A long trip, learning a new language, playing an instrument, finishing a half-read book, starting a personal project you've been dreaming about. Whatever it is, make space to do it more often. Joy multiplies when we engage with what we love. Life becomes more meaningful. And when you consistently invest in what lights you up, you may uncover hidden talents you didn't know you had. Who knows? One day the things you love might even become a source of income, allowing you to live with greater freedom on your own terms. As you can see, the suggestions from the introvert writer are quite simple, nothing complex or unreachable. But life is often full of noise and interruptions that make us forget the importance of connecting with ourselves. If you want to change and love yourself more, begin by putting yourself first. Treat self-connection activities as a daily priority, just like anything else on your to-do list. Maybe drop one task that's neither urgent nor important and replace it with one of the practices I mentioned above. Try to complete it even if just for a few minutes. Discover your core values. Core values are the compass that helps guide you when the road ahead is foggy and uncertain. I didn't know what my core values were until 6 months ago. That was when I had to start over from scratch at age 30. Questions like, who am I? What do I live for? What should I do with my life? Became daily companions in my thoughts, just like the friend I mentioned earlier. After many hours of reading, writing, and reflecting, I discovered that there are a few things I deeply prioritize in life. When these values aren't honored, I feel restless, uneasy, and always looking for an escape. A clear example, I kept changing jobs. Each new job brought the same issues or even more dissatisfaction. But once I identified my core values, I began to understand myself better. I knew what truly mattered to me. And from that clarity, I started making decisions that aligned with those values. As a result, I became happier because both my work and life were now grounded in what I genuinely believe in. When core values haven't yet been defined, I decided to return to work after giving birth to my first child. Same job, same position, same old problems. Even though I knew deep down I didn't love this job, I still went back because everyone else said it would be good for me. I was afraid of being judged for staying home looking after the baby and depending on my husband. Going back to work at least gave me a stable paycheck, a reason to dress up in business clothes, and an excuse to proudly tell others I was too busy when asked how life was going. I mistakenly believed that returning to work would somehow make me more valuable in the eyes of others. But all of it, this whole story, felt like it belonged to someone else, not to me. It wasn't until I turned 30 that I finally paused to learn how to grow up. I sat down with myself and reviewed everything I had lived through, and slowly I started to see what was truly important in life. In those moments of reflection, certain questions kept coming back to me. They often began with what if? What if tomorrow were the end of the world? How would you spend your final day, and with whom? What if you stepped outside your comfort zone? Did things you've never done, lived a life you've never dared to live? What if you had the courage to live honestly with all the flaws you've tried so hard to hide? The process of journaling and self-inquiry revealed something both frightening and precious. I had been living according to the dreams and expectations of others. I shaped my life to please people. I tried to earn praise for being someone I wasn't. I didn't know who I really was. I didn't know who I wanted to become. Each of us enters this world with a limited amount of time. Whether rich or poor, our time capital is more or less the same. Let's say you live to be 100 years old. You've already spent nearly 50 years on eating, sleeping, personal care, and childhood. So what happens if in the remaining 50 years you still wander in confusion, never truly knowing who you are or who you want to become? Without core values to guide you, you live without a sense of what really matters. Chasing butterflies and picking flowers, you forget your deeper purpose. You might end up living a life shaped by the expectations of others or by illusions you've created for yourself. Your life may look shiny on the outside, but feel completely hollow on the inside. Why are core values so important? To me, the concept of core values used to feel vague and abstract. When I first began exploring it, the term honestly made me feel discouraged. It sounded too unclear and intangible, but curiosity kept me going. I wanted to understand why this phrase kept showing up in both personal development and corporate culture. I kept reading, reflecting, and turning inward, and eventually I understood just how essential core values are to every life. When you identify and live by your personal core values, you begin to live with purpose, gain deeper self-awareness, have direction when life gets hard, make important decisions with clarity, set healthy personal boundaries, stay focused and eliminate distractions, build a career aligned with your values, increase confidence and motivation, enhance self-esteem, enjoy a more fulfilling, joyful life. 7 steps to live in harmony with your core values. To live in alignment with your core values, you can begin by practicing the following 7 steps. 1. Write down a list of your core values. Start by identifying the values that matter most to you. These are the internal principles that guide your decisions and shape your behavior. 2. Choose one core value to focus on. Select just one value to practice first. That way you can go deeper and gain clarity before expanding to others. 3. Set goals that align with that value. Here are some examples. If your chosen value is freedom, your goals may include building a freelance career that allows you to work from anywhere, exploring new experiences, gaining control over your time and energy, expressing your authentic self without fear. If your value is health, your goals may include eating nutritious, wholesome foods, exercising daily, spending time with people who uplift you, avoiding harmful habits like smoking, excessive drinking junk food, or sugary sodas. 4. Take action toward your goals. Think of specific, tangible actions you can take to bring these goals to life. No matter how small, each step matters. 5. Reflect on the benefits physically and emotionally. Track how you feel when living by your values. Keep a journal. Observe your thoughts and emotions. If a value enriches your life, it will naturally become a powerful motivator. If it doesn't resonate, you may want to revise or remove it. 6. Evaluate your progress weekly or monthly. Set aside 10 to 15 minutes to check in with yourself. Use questions like, does this value feel natural to me? Is it aligned with who I am? Does it lead to more positive behavior? Does it enhance my relationships? Has it improved my well-being or happiness? Has it improved my finances? Should I remove, aid, or adjust this value? 7. Update your core values list. After your evaluation, update your list. Then choose the next value and repeat the process. These steps may seem simple, but in truth, they're not easy. You might need to leave your comfort zone. You might have to do things you've never tried. You may even have to walk away from a career you've spent your youth building or upset people you deeply care about. But if you don't take those steps, how else can you live true to yourself, your dreams, your voice, your truth? If you're brave enough to face the challenge, you may discover beauty and freedom you've never known. And one day you might look back and think, I wish I'd done this sooner. You'll feel lighter, calmer, happier in this fresh new space you've created for yourself. 3. Pay attention to your negative emotions. What makes you feel sad, angry, jealous, insecure, or stressed? What situations or triggers bring out these feelings in you? Recognizing these patterns helps you understand yourself. We often struggle to control our emotions, especially the difficult ones. Yet they happen frequently, affecting the quality of our daily lives. I used to be someone who couldn't hide her emotions. My face would always give me away. But things changed after I had a child. Parenthood brought me immense joy. but also moments of frustration. There were times when I lost control and raised my voice at my child, and every time I regretted it deeply. Slowly, I began to become more aware of my emotional triggers. Now, when I feel anger rising, I try to walk away, take a breath, and calm down. Awareness doesn't fix everything overnight, but once you're aware, you're one step closer to gaining control over how you respond. 4. Keep a journal. This is a powerful way to document your inner world. By writing down your thoughts, feelings, and daily experiences, you begin to see patterns that reveal who you really are. Research shows we have over 6,000 thoughts a day. If we don't capture them, we miss countless opportunities to learn from them. What did you do today? Why did you do it? How did you feel about it? Do you regret any choices? Looking back and connecting the dots helps you paint a clearer picture of who you are. 5. Take personality or self-awareness tests. Many people turn to personality assessments to better understand themselves. These tests help provide an overview of your traits, tendencies, and preferences, but don't rely on them blindly. Use them as tools for perspective, not as definitive labels. They offer insights that can open new doors of reflection, but the final understanding must come from you. 6. Ask others how they see you. Reach out to trusted friends, colleagues, or family members. Ask how they perceive you, what they admire, what they think you bring to a space. You may think you know how you come across, but that's still your own assumption. Asking others helps validate or challenge those assumptions. That said, be mindful. Not everyone will give honest answers, and you may become too influenced by what they say. Always place their feedback in the context of your own self-awareness. A friend of mine with over 6,000 social media followers once gave me advice on how to improve my online presence. She said I should post more aesthetic photos, show off my kids, and share daily life updates. It was good advice, but it didn't sit right with me. As an introvert, it simply didn't feel natural. So I took what resonated and adjusted it to fit my values. 7. Seek help from professionals. Therapists and coaches are trained to help you dig deeper. They offer structured guidance and ask powerful questions that can reveal parts of yourself you didn't know were there. If you feel stuck or don't know where to start, this could be the most effective way to begin your self-discovery journey. 8. Reflect on your successes and failures. Look back on both your victories and your setbacks. Analyze them like mini case studies. What happened? What did you do? What was the result? Would you do it differently now? What strengths or weaknesses did you discover? This is not a time to inflate your ego or to beat yourself up. It's a time for calm, honest reflection, to know what to strengthen and what to improve. 9. Never stop learning and investing in yourself. Albert Einstein once said, "When you stop learning, you start dying." Curiosity is a gateway to discovery, and personal growth is the foundation of self-awareness. The more you learn, the more humble you become. You realize there's always more to explore, and that keeps your perspective grounded and real. This also protects you from the Dunning-Kruger effect, where people overestimate their abilities. Self-aware individuals know how to question themselves and stay open to growth. 10. Practice. Practice and practice. You can read all the books in the world about self-understanding, but if you never take action, all those words will remain just ink on a page. They won't live in your body. They won't shape your choices. If 10 steps feel like too much, just start with 1. The most important thing is to begin. But remember, keep going, because if you stop, you might lose all the progress you worked so hard to build. And so I hope the quotes and reflections shared here give you the motivation to keep walking forward, especially on the most important journey of all, the journey to find yourself. Self-discipline. Strengthening your mental well-being. We already know that good mental health means maintaining a positive mindset, managing our emotions, and acting with intention. Besides eating a balanced diet and exercising regularly, what else can help improve your mental well-being every single day. Let's explore. Mental well-being can be understood as the balance between your thoughts, emotions, and your ability to face life's storms. Yet in the whirlwind of modern life, we often focus only on physical health, forgetting the importance of our inner world. This neglect can lead to psychological imbalances affecting not just personal happiness, but also relationships and society at large. That's why keeping your mind at ease and emotionally clear is essential to solve problems wisely and elevate the quality of your life. Here are a few strategies you can apply right away to keep your spirit light and joyful and fully savor each moment of life. 1. Say positive things to yourself. According to therapists, most of us engage in self-talk every day about our successes and failures. It's an automatic process in the brain that we're not even aware is happening. For example, when someone compliments your dress, you might think, "That made me happy," or "Does she mean I usually dress badly?" That's the first moment you begin to notice and listen to yourself. How you talk to yourself shapes how you feel. If you constantly think negatively about yourself or life, you'll experience the world through that lens. It's time to start practicing self-talk that uplifts your worth and strength. Instead of saying, "I messed up," "I'll never get chosen, I was too nervous," try saying, "I didn't do as well as I hoped, but that doesn't mean it's over." 2. Write down what you're grateful for. Gratitude has a powerful effect on the mind. It creates deep happiness from within. Practicing gratitude journaling every day has been shown to increase positive emotions. Reflecting on what you're thankful for, even in writing, can quiet your thoughts and bring peace. To enjoy long-lasting happiness, try making gratitude, writing a regular part of your life. 3. Be present in every moment. Focusing on the present helps you let go of regrets from the past or worries about the future. You can begin by simply paying attention to your daily activities while showering, during lunch, or while walking home. Tune into physical sensations, sounds, smells, and even your footsteps. Practicing presence like this trains your attention. Your mind stops wandering and comes back to what you're doing right here, right now. 4. Exercise regularly. When you exercise, your body releases endorphins, hormones that reduce stress and awaken your mind. That's why exercise is often described as nature's best remedy for anxiety, tension, and even depression. You don't need a gym membership to get moving. Take the stairs instead of the elevator. Go for an evening walk. Clean your home with intention and energy. To feel the full benefits, aim for at least 30 minutes of exercise a day, ideally outdoors. Sunlight helps your body produce vitamin D and boosts serotonin, a key hormone for happiness. And spending time in nature, it's a scientifically backed way to reduce stress and improve well-being. 5. Enjoy a nourishing meal. Research shows that certain nutrients can help balance your mood and reduce stress. For instance, moderate intake of carbohydrates like fruits, vegetables, and whole grains can increase serotonin, which soothes the mind. Proteins help produce dopamine, norepinephrine, and tyrosine hormones that keep your mind alert and focused. Fruits and vegetables are rich in vitamins that energize your cells and support mental clarity. Omega-3 fatty acids found in fish seeds and nuts enhance cell membrane function and stimulate dopamine release, lifting your mood. 6. Open up to someone you trust. Knowing that you are valued and respected by others boosts emotional strength. Sharing your thoughts with someone you trust increases your happiness and builds connection. When you're able to see the good in others, you also become more capable of recognizing the good within yourself. 7. Help others. Studies have shown that helping others has a direct impact on how we feel about ourselves. Acts of kindness enrich your sense of self-worth and bring deeper meaning to your life. Giving doesn't just help others, it transforms you. 8. Allow yourself to rest. There are moments in life when everything piles up and becomes overwhelming. When that happens, take a break. Step away. Do something that helps you feel more at ease until the tension fades. Sometimes the best solution is simply a breathing exercise. Here's one to try. Close your eyes. Inhale slowly while counting to 4. Hold your breath for 4 seconds. Exhale slowly for 4 counts. Repeat this 10 times. You'll feel the effects almost immediately. 9. Go to bed on time. Research shows that lack. What is inner strength? Inner strength, also known as mental or emotional resilience, is the power that originates from within. It's the internal mechanism of your psychological and emotional world shaping your mindset, guiding your thoughts and feelings, and ultimately influencing your actions in life. A person with inner strength is someone who can think clearly, regulate emotions, and make wise decisions even during tough times. Everyone has different experiences, personalities, and perspectives, which means everyone's inner world is also unique. Inner strength can be observed in how we respond to situations, with compassion, empathy, positive energy, determination, courage, resilience, decisiveness, and more. Unlike physical health, inner strength isn't visible or measurable. It's something that unfolds over time through experience and self-discovery. In essence, it's the force within that allows you to act with clarity and conviction. A person with true inner strength isn't necessarily the most intelligent or successful. Rather, it's shown through their unwavering willpower and persistence. It's in how they overcome adversity, recover after setbacks, and adapt to life's challenges. For example, after a breakup, you may feel drained, heartbroken, and directionless. But if you possess inner strength, you'll eventually rise, transform pain into purpose, and move forward with resilience and hope. Inner strength helps us regulate our thoughts and emotions, tackle difficulties with more ease, and grow stronger through every experience. In many cases, it's even more powerful than physical strength. Someone may appear fit and muscular, but when facing personal crises, if their inner world is weak, they may crumble and fall deeper into failure. Meanwhile, someone with a calm but powerful inner core can rise stronger than anyone expected. Characteristics of a strong inner world: people with inner strength often go unnoticed at first. Unlike physical beauty or charisma, it becomes visible only in the way they handle life's storms. They tend to be composed, decisive, and quietly powerful. They don't need to appear tough on the outside. A petite girl might look fragile, but her inner strength may be unshakable. No matter the hardship, these individuals find a way to endure and even thrive. Their presence leaves a lasting impression. Unlike surface-level beauty, inner strength radiates depth. It shows in their words, expressions, conversations, and in how they approach conflict or uncertainty. Doing your best, while accepting what comes. Acceptance isn't about giving up. It's about adopting a more open, realistic perspective. People with inner strength recognize when something isn't meant for them. They don't chase endlessly or place all their hopes on one outcome. They focus on what they can control: effort, perseverance, and attitude. Putting in your best effort already accounts for half of success. The rest is up to fate or timing. If someone else succeeds where you didn't, you can accept it with grace, knowing they may have put in more effort or faced different circumstances. The strong don't give up. They turn every setback into motivation, learn from the past, and keep moving forward. They don't dwell on regret. Instead, they choose growth, resilience, and self-compassion. Patience in waiting for the right moment. People with true inner strength are not impulsive. They pause, observe, and seek to understand the root of the problem before acting. Patience is not easy. It requires a calm, steady heart and a strong sense of self. These individuals are not rushed by fear or emotion. They know how to wait for the right opportunity and strike when the time is right. They're not afraid to say no to unfairness or pressure. They don't compromise their values just to fit in or avoid discomfort. They wait wisely, prepare deeply, and act intentionally. A calm and grounded mindset. Throughout history, those who achieved greatness often shared one trait: stillness. Calm minds create clear vision. They can see all sides of a problem and make decisions that are both rational and empathetic. Those who are impulsive may be quick to act, but they rarely see the full picture. Inner strength lies in the ability to stay composed, even when chaos surrounds you. The more serious the challenge, the more peace is required to navigate it. In Buddhist teachings, wise people are described as those who listen deeply and respond gently. When you slow down, clarity emerges. You can see what's right and what's not, where to go next, even when the path seems lost in fog. Handling everything with gentleness leads to more peace for both yourself and those around you. A person's inner strength also reveals itself in how they treat others and themselves with fairness, kindness, and deep understanding. People naturally feel calmer and more inspired in their presence because they radiate quiet strength and balanced energy. Other signs of inner strength: turning failure into opportunity, encouraging and comforting yourself, learning and growing from each setback, trusting and honoring your worth, making decisions with confidence, regulating and releasing emotions healthily, listening to feedback while staying grounded, always choosing a positive perspective, inspiring others through your energy. Even the strongest souls feel exhausted sometimes. Inner strength doesn't mean you're never sad or overwhelmed. It means you know how to handle those moments and how to return to balance. Is inner strength a gift or something you build? Some believe inner strength is a natural gift, and that's partially true. Yes, some people are born more emotionally steady or mature, but much of our inner strength is earned through lived experience, hardship, learning, and reflection. That's why older individuals often radiate such calmness and clarity. They've seen it all. Their strength was forged in adversity. But that doesn't mean young people can't have inner strength. Some are naturally composed and wise beyond their years. Regardless of your background, everyone can develop a strong inner world. You just need the right tools and the will to keep going. Key factors that shape inner strength. If you weren't born with natural resilience, don't worry. Inner strength can be cultivated. Here are some essential traits that define strong inner character. 1. Emotional intelligence. EQ is your ability to understand and manage your emotions and recognize the emotions of others. People with high EQ remain calm in conflict. They communicate clearly, resolve problems skillfully, and build healthy relationships. Most successful leaders are believed to have high EQ. It allows them to make wise decisions, stay level-headed, and foster trust with others. 2. Adaptability to hardship. How well do you adapt to adversity? If you can stay grounded during chaos, think clearly, and find creative solutions, that's a powerful sign of inner strength. People who adapt well to difficult environments tend to be more successful in the long run. Adaptability reveals a hidden strength and makes you more resilient for whatever comes next. 3. Mental recovery. Everyone faces pain, loss, and moments when giving up seems easier. But if you can get back up, move forward, and rebuild, you are strong. How quickly you bounce back from emotional pain depends on your strength, mindset, and self-awareness. When you recover with clarity and grace, you unlock deeper growth and wisdom. 4. Embracing challenges. People with inner strength do not fear failure. They know that both success and loss are part of life, and they are willing to face whatever comes their way. Their courage proves that their strength is real. They pursue difficult goals that others avoid, and they often succeed in ways few expect. Ways to strengthen your inner self. A strong inner self is not only a gift by nature, but also something you can cultivate through conscious effort. Building inner strength is a long journey that requires determination, effort, and a willingness to change. Once you have developed this internal power, your life can become happier and more fulfilling. 1. Learn to let go. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means releasing what no longer serves you or drains your motivation in life. Things like pressure pride, painful memories, guilt, laziness, resentment, doubt, and fear can all weigh you down. These are negative forces that obstruct your growth and make life feel hopeless, no matter how hard you try. Learning to let go of such burdens gives you space to heal, rebuild, and regain your strength. It allows you to move forward with clarity and confidence. 2. Improve yourself. Often we don't recognize our own flaws or knowingly allow them to linger until they become deeply rooted weaknesses. It's essential to honestly assess both your strengths and limitations to wisely invest in your personal growth. Never allow yourself to fall behind or feel inferior. Instead, nurture your emotional health, heal old wounds, and clear out negative emotions and toxic relationships. Make space for joy, wellness, and vitality. 3. Step outside your comfort zone. To develop real inner power, challenge yourself to step beyond familiar boundaries. Try something new. Let yourself experience and discover what lies outside the walls of comfort. Each new experience is a lesson that can help you grow stronger from within. Don't allow stereotypes or pressure to convince you that you are weak or incapable. Do something you've never done before, meet people more experienced than you, and let those connections spark courage and confidence within. 4. Learn to control your emotions. A crucial step in strengthening your inner self is mastering emotional control. Strong people don't cry at the wrong time or let weakness guide their decisions. Letting your emotions dictate your actions often leads to major missteps. It's a sign of lacking control. Having emotional discipline doesn't mean you suppress your feelings. Rather, it means you don't allow them to derail your judgment. When you can manage your emotions wisely, you're also managing your life. 5. Listen to yourself. Learning to listen to yourself means slowing down and asking, what do I truly want? Many times we lose ourselves in other people's expectations or society's standards, forgetting our own desires. This disconnect causes us to lose initiative and confidence. Slow down, be still, listen carefully. When you become more attuned to your own needs and dreams, it becomes easier to set direction and make decisions. Knowing what you want helps you face challenges with a strong heart. Inner strength is a hidden power that lives within each of us. It plays a vital role in helping us live more meaningful and joyful lives. When you build your inner strength, you give yourself the ability to face life's challenges with clarity and resilience. You become someone who not only survives, but thrives with purpose, peace, and positivity. You might not know this. Managing your inner world also requires skill. We often spend time learning a wide range of skills: communication and leadership, critical thinking, and rightly so. These external skills are essential for self-improvement. But there's one crucial ability people tend to overlook: the skill of managing your inner world. It's the ability that governs your emotions and behaviors from within what we call inner skills. What are inner skills? They might sound unfamiliar, but they're incredibly close to you. Inner skills are with us every day, every hour, no matter where we go. It's the capacity to manage and regulate your internal behaviors, especially your emotions, your confidence, your resilience, your self-discipline, your perseverance, your openness to new ideas, your ability to overcome distractions, your time management. All of these stem from your inner skill set. Why does it matter? Without it, success is out of reach. Inner skills are all about your ability to regulate your emotions. People with strong emotional regulation take more time to think, make mindful decisions, and focus on their goals regardless of distractions. Some people are trapped inside their own minds and can't break free. Others train their inner skills and use them to conquer their fears. Developing inner control isn't easy, but here are 10 powerful ways to build emotional intelligence and inner mastery. Clarify your goals. Goals reflect your ideals, desires, and commitment. Realistic goals should include both short-term and long-term visions. They guide you, shape your choices, and fuel your motivation. Even small goals, like breaking a bad habit or reading one book a month, can help you gain confidence to tackle bigger challenges. Create and follow a plan. Life gets overwhelming. Workloads pile up and burnout sets in. That's why it's essential to plan daily and weekly. But here's the mistake: we often plan only in our minds. This creates vagueness and delays action. Instead, write your plans down and commit. Doing so helps your mind stay focused and your time well managed. A clear plan is a quiet mentor nudging you to complete your tasks. Channel your strengths. Ever felt envious because others seem talented while you feel average? Truth is, everyone has strengths, but not everyone identifies them. Some are patient with kids or with rude colleagues, yet impatient with themselves. Others solve big work problems easily, but get stuck with personal issues. Often we're more compassionate with others than with ourselves. Train your inner voice to treat you the same way it urges kindness toward others. Offer advice inward. Spot the strengths you admire in others, then look for those within yourself. Spend time reflecting. Self-reflection is tough and rare. Life moves fast and distractions are everywhere. But taking time to review your choices and values is essential. For instance, instead of avoiding friends when you're struggling, ask yourself why. Self-reflection helps clarify what matters most and strengthens your personal direction. Cultivate compassion. Compassion not only uplifts others, it elevates your own emotional state. It's not always easy, especially with difficult people, but compassion doesn't mean excusing poor behavior. It means understanding the context behind it. Ask yourself, what might have led them to act this way? Random acts of kindness can spark positivity in both you and them, and compassion fosters deeper self-awareness. It helps you admit mistakes, learn from them, and grow. Practice positive self-talk. Negative thinking, like harsh self-blame, might feel like discipline, but it often damages your spirit. How you speak to yourself shapes your reality. Instead of spiraling into self-criticism, focus on what went right. Celebrate your progress and affirm your worth. This boosts confidence and builds resilience for what's next. Seize opportunities. Comfort zones can be silent prisons. Avoiding risks robs you of breakthroughs. Dare to try a new career, hobby, or relationship. We're all born with fears of rejection, risk judgment. You can either remain stuck or step forward. Even if you fail, you'll gain resilience and wisdom. Grabbing opportunities, especially scary ones, makes you stronger. Talk to a therapist. Developing emotional intelligence can be hard, especially when you're not sure what to improve. A therapist can guide your self-awareness, help identify unhelpful patterns, and teach you how to rebuild from past pain. They can equip you with practical tools to grow, forgive, and build kindness toward yourself. Understand the inner world of introverts. Introverts often face more challenges in mastering their inner world. They recharge alone, value privacy, and may struggle with expressing emotions. They avoid asking for help, dislike small talk, and tend to hide their pain. This can lead to low self-esteem and perfectionism. For introverts, building inner skills means learning to name their emotions, accept their imperfections, and develop emotional clarity. Know that inner mastery is learnable. You weren't born with inner mastery. It's a skill, one that grows with time, experience, and self-compassion. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start paying attention to your inner world. The better you know yourself, the better you'll manage your thoughts, your relationships, and your life. And that is a quiet kind of power, one that will never fail you.